And Eric Warren, come on, when it comes to any man alive, when it comes to network marketing, this is the man you must listen to. We used to have his books here. We have to resume getting his books so I read it. That is actually his network GoPro. Like before we got started, I announced to us that he just got his private jet. You know, you have no also idea the comfort of private jet or the need or the necessity of a private jet until you start traveling often and get delayed and get your flight cancelled. I had one terrible experience one time. I was flying from Jos. Now, of course, there was no flight from Jos to Lagos. I have to connect to Abuja and those things. The flight was supposed to be like 12. They shifted it to 2 p.m. From 2 p.m. they said, okay, it's going to be flying 5 p.m. We eventually flew after 6. Then, of course, we got to Abuja. Abuja, okay, we will fly Abuja from 8 p.m. Anyway, to cut the story short, we ended up leaving Abuja, I think, 12 a.m. Yeah. Got to Lagos, 1 a.m. It was, I had running tummy that night. Even though it was a business class, even though I had to go through and stay at the VIP lounge, it was not just enough. My whole system got squeezed. I said, well, I've always believed in a private jet because I can't have the money for private jet and keep it not because I want to speak nicely of me. No, I will get one. I wish I'll get one. You really don't know what it means to have a private jet. So it's a whole lot. Yes, very expensive to maintain, but if you have the itinerary that matches up there and the income that actually takes care of that, you don't feel anything. It's just like having your private car. There's no difference. All right? You know, when people join poverty too much, they begin to speak the language of the poor, unknown to them that they're actually destroying their future. For example, somebody is saying, I love the breeze on the bike. That's why I don't really, not that I can't really afford a car. You heard that before? Yeah, I love the breeze when I'm on the Okada. It's not that I cannot buy a car. You're a poor man. So poor that it has tampered with your brain. Your medulla oblongata is being tampered with. You no longer know the difference between Ogogoro and you don't know the difference.
My friend said your brain is a scar.
It needs some formatting, and they will direct you to our technical guy man here to help you format your brain so that you can think properly. All right, so before going straight to the presentation of the program today, let's quickly do work on this MBA. Somebody say massive bank account.
Massive bank account.
Some of them are not even saying with some strength. I want to feel it.
Massive
Massive bank. All right. How many of us like to have a massive bank account, or you prefer the lean account? Which one do you prefer?
Massive.
You like to be massive?
Yes.
Very, very important. It takes care of shit, man. It takes care of a whole lot of things. You need it. And if you are not there, don't sleep. Tell your neighbor, don't sleep. In our deliverance class, you come, you better understand that. I've told you before. If you want to cast out the demons of smells, go to your pastor in your church. You want to cast out the demons of poverty, meet with Ambassador Light. And we have the key to this. So you need this deliverance big time. So focus, you need focus, and you need to believe, because we cannot really do this for you. This is your personal responsibility. You must learn how to believe. The program of the Monite is called the Believe Nation. His talk is like a pastor. He doesn't even talk like a businessman, because of what belief has done so much to his spirit. And of course, in a place where you could have given an excuse why you are the minority and all of that, he has said so much. But he's been there for 18 years. He's been there for 18 years, started almost like he was 20. He was still single about 3 years ago. What a great way to marry a single guy who's worth billions of dollars. Ladies, won't you like that kind of a guy, a husband? You know, when the lady says a good husband, what they are talking about is this side. He's a good man. So, making money is good, but making money on time can be so refreshing. Okay, very, very refreshing. And of course, delayed gratification, if you must do well in this industry, this is something that must go with you. You must live with it. You just have to live with this, otherwise probably not going to do well in this one. So let's quickly talk about building sustainable wealth. If you want to write, for those of you writing, you're with your phone. It's called smartphone for a reason, so please open the phone and quickly press something.
Sir,
What is that?
can I chip something in? I think it's determination has to do here also.
We are talking about next time. That's when the question happens. Building the sustainable world. I remember some weeks ago we did a very powerful training on the true definition of an asset. You still remember? We did the true definition of an asset. And number one, I call that assets is whatever what? Put money into your pocket. You remember that? An asset is whatever put money into your pocket. While liability is whatever takes money what? Out of your pocket. Please write it down. It's as simple as that. You see, when you understand this definition, it helps you to know what is asset and what is liability in your life. So that you don't just engage in all the activities just because your friends are in it. You have a good car, for example, the car is doing well, it's not complaining. Because your friends are buying bigger cars, you too want to buy a bigger car. You have to know at that time, is this thing that I'm engaging in, is it an asset or a liability? And to make it a little bit simple, this little definition will just help to simplify the whole process of definition. Of asset being what? Whatever puts money into your pocket. And liability is whatever takes money out of your pocket. And I remember we also said that an asset is the third of option. Call it the third of option. You know, I've been told that one when you went to school, so these are kind of things you hear when you come to MBA with a person of life. So we call it the third of option because it must fulfill the 3 points to be called an asset. Number one, how many of us remember? If it's an asset, there must be the buying process. You remember that?
Yeah.
Some of these, don't joke with them, please. Number two, that it must go through what? The holding of process. Some of you have forgotten. And number three, which is very vital, if it's an asset, it must be sold at a higher value in the future. It must be sold in the future at a higher value. Are we getting that now?
Yeah.
An asset must go through these 3 stages to be called a true asset. Some of you were sharing with you, very clear you were not taught in school, so don't let what you were taught in school to interrupt with it, because what we teach is real life business tips, not trying to define something that fits this, the society. No, it's what is obtainable, what is actually working. Number one, for asset to be called a true asset, must fulfill these 3 categories, these 3 points. Number one, the buying process, because you must have bought it, whether you bought a house or you bought whatever it is, there must be a buying. Otherwise, it will be stolen. Even though it was stolen by you, the person you stole it from bought it. Are we together? Even though it was an inheritance, your father bought it and moved it to you. So you cannot actually dodge it, because none of us were born with a silver spoon. Alright? Even though you are born into a rich family, according to Lumide Manuel, say none of us actually came with a spoon in our mouth. okay. So that means whatever you met here was bought by someone, or you acquired it or passed to somebody else. So it must go through this. And this, it must also go through what? Holding process. That means you cannot buy something today and be expected to cash out tomorrow and you call it an asset. It's not an asset. It has its own place. But you cannot call it what? an asset or re-asset. Are we together? So that's where the delayed gratification comes in when you talk about patience. So when you are going into what you want to be called assets, then you know you have to wait to be qualified to become what? An asset. Otherwise, it will not be an asset. And now, I also remember I told you guys that the house you build to live in is not a true asset because it doesn't meet the 3 points that we're looking at. Are we together? Now, because during the holding process, okay, before I go into that, let me quickly let you know, break it down a bit. Why is the house that you live in, for example, you bought a house at Ikeja here maybe 20 years ago at 10 million naira, because that cannot buy a house again at Ikeja now. And you have to sell that house today, they might be pricing that house for about 100 million. I hope you know that. All right? Or minimum 50 million is Ikeja. If it's a better, don't say up back, I'm talking about 30 million per from here. Maybe it's only about 50 million. Are we together? Now, if that is the case, is the house not meeting the number 3? Are we together? It's meeting the number 3. So we're going to say the house that you bought that you are living in is a true asset. But I'm saying it's not a true asset because there's something that's actually missing in between here and this place. Are we together? Now you bought the house, you are holding, but between here and here, of course, at the time you are selling the house in the future, you are selling at a higher price and whatever it is. But there's something is not meeting here, is what we call cash flow. Somebody say cash flow. Now, in the process of holding, the major reason for it is to produce what? Cash flow for you. This is the reason the house you live in is not considered a true asset in the real definition of an asset. Because if you are living in the house, then you are not experiencing this. Somebody would have bought that same house and turned it into a business, shop let or whatever it is, and be making a whole lot of money. And when it's time to sell in the future at a higher price, we still sell at a higher price, even much valuable than your own because the house would have been maintained in the process of time. How many of us remember this great musician? We danced the music, we didn't understand the language there, Shina Peter. How many of us remember Shina Peter? Now, it's in history that particular year that this guy was on top of his game, he actually built in this whole house with 20 million naira. That was in the late 90s. And that same year, Jimovia founded Zenith Bank with the same amount, 20 million. Today, I love my brother, one person sat and should do one like this. That means you got the message correctly. Can you match the two today? One understand cash flow. The other one didn't understand cash flow. What he understood was the personality that comes with his personal house, the gratification, the coolness that comes into your heart, you know. You cannot sit at the balcony, let everybody wave you, landlord, then you quickly join the landlord meeting. You have arrived. Because that's what it does. It helps your mind to think that you have arrived. Imagine putting 20 million naira into that. I don't think that guy has 20 million naira cash right now. Because they tried to help him to make some money recently. Giving him program, yet notice. He tried to shake that body like before, you know. You know when you know something. When the wife deceived him and then they removed his eye, the Bible said that he wanted to shake his body as before, only to find out that the oil has been taken away. That's what happens to a lot of people that don't have understanding of cash flow. When they make the mistake and it's so brutal, they try to do some silly things. At that time, they're already coming too late. Coming too late. So don't make that mistake. 20 million put into a personal house. It doesn't generate income. What happens eventually? Your family, your friends, they will get the house filled up. You'll be cooking every day for them to eat. Because you are the big boy in the house, you have to do what you big boys do. But there is no source of income for replenishing. The very first statement God gave to man, replenish the earth. You don't have that. No multiple streams of income. You just want people to know you are right. Don't make that mistake. I've warned all the young men, the first money you make must not be for you to be the personal house that you live in. Be making the biggest mistake of your life. Find a way to multiply your income because that's what money is made for. So, an asset in its true definition, its finest definition, must meet these three categories, especially this cash flow. Because this is the reason. That's why you're here. You want the cash flow. All of us want to go to sit at home and make some good money. We sleep and wake up, we see some euros drop. Beautiful. Okay, now, let's quickly move very fast. Now, I put it on a statement I put on Facebook one day. I said the worst investing is better than the smartest spending. Please write it down. The worst investing is better than the smartest spending. You don't need anointing to spend. It's just very easy. You don't need special skill for spending. Even poor people think that money is for spending now. So when you have the money, this and this, send money to us. We are hungry now, do something for the boys or do something for the girls. We don't believe when there is money is meant for spending. So the worst investing is better than the smartest spending. So don't think that you must take into. Now, number one asset I want us to look into is the crypto assets portfolio. The crypto asset portfolio. Now, the reason we're here is because something has happened in 2008 that actually changed the paradigm, changed the narratives, and we started having things differently, and that's the reason all of us are here today, because we're learning this process. And because before then, what we had was actually stock market and all of that, and now we're going to be learning something new called the crypto asset portfolio. Now, how do I build my because this is also an asset, but it has its own weaknesses and its own strengths and all of that. And in this, without wasting much of our time, the number one thing that people do with this when they come into this phase is actually on the short term part of it. And this short term part, that's where you look at spot trading, and especially this is actually what people quickly look at. The first thing they ask you that if I put my money into this thing now, what will I be getting back in 24 hours? I want to be getting something back right now. What am I going to be getting back? So, this is okay. You can actually do spot trading, make people a lot of money. But you can also lose it in 1 hour. You can lose it in a day. You can be very rich days ago and be very poor right now. Remember what we are talking about? We are talking about building sustainable wealth, not just rich. So, crypto asset portfolio, it actually puts you in the realm of the rich, not in the realm of the wealthy. You need to understand it too. There's a young man that was in a meeting with my mentor, Dr. Umide Manuel, and he was trying to advise him. The young man said, I have 38 million naira in my crypto portfolio. And Dr. Umide was trying to, because he loves real estate so much, so why don't you put some money in your real estate? Withdraw maybe 20 million, even say 30 million. Put it into real estate. Be trading with the 8 million. The guy said, no, you don't understand that we are going this way, we are going, and it's going to be doing all the analysis that leads to paralysis and all of them. And of course, the old market quiet, and the meeting closed. Then, about 2 weeks after, there was a bear market. You have to understand the cycle of finance, or cycle of events. It comes and goes. It has been like that. Even in the Bible, there was a time in the Genesis, they said, money fade in the land. Are we together? And so many times, it fade during Abraham, it fade during Isaac, it fade during Jacob. That Joseph was sold to Egypt. Have you forgotten that experience? That they have to be coming to Egypt to buy goods to eat. And so that was it. So it's a cycle, it comes and goes. Now, of course, to cut your story short, 2 weeks after, There was a bear market, all the crypto were down, and that young man lost almost everything. And of course, he called Dr. Lumide Mane. I was attacking him. I thought you were a pastor, so you need this market was going to crash. And you didn't tell me, and you were suggesting about. I told you I'm not into crypto, but I was only telling you this can happen by experience, and you didn't take it. So understand, when you are in this section of assets, know where to bring out the money for, because it's supposed to be a service center for you. As you generate income, use it for other things while you are keeping this. This is like a bank for you, where you build your wealth, your riches now, take it and make it and build your wealth. Are we together? So the short-term part of it, people do a lot of trading. If you don't have heart for this, don't even try, because you lose money before you can start making money. So in the place of this, what I recommend is network marketing. This one for me is better. This will help you build the same wealth that you would have built here as trader. Are we together? The only reason you don't like this one because you have to talk to people. The only reason you like trading because it cannot give you one comfort to just be yourself. You don't want to disturb anybody. But when they want to hit you, they hit you so hard that it hit you below the belt. So please understand. And you need a lot of money. You can't just have $1,000 and say you want to go into trading. It will finish before your eyes. Because it must beat you first before you start making money. And those who actually do trading very well, there is one system they use, it's a very simple one. What they do is that, let's say you buy a particular crypto when it was $1. You put $1,000. Now you have $10,000 to waste or to use to gain. You just put $10,000 aside. This is what I want you to do. My trading, learn my trading and master it. Now when it was $1, you put 1,000. Don't put everything at the same time. Now, yes, you could be very lucky. Maybe it's only the bull time and it goes up to $5 to $10 or whatever it is. Wow, you become like a genius. And you don't even mind at that level to borrow money from people to put. That's where you might put yourself in trouble. Because bear market will surely come. Alright, now if at the time you do this investment, and of course it didn't go up, it now comes down, which they call dip, maybe to 50 cents. Remember, you still have $10,000 or $9,000 here now. You take another $1,000 and buy at 50 cents. Are you with me? Now it might even dip further to 10 cents. Still take from there. Remember, you've already set this money apart to do the gamble. You don't already cross your mind, so whatever happens, you buy. You see somebody that has just $1 now does not have a future with trading. They are looking for trouble. At that point, you don't start telling everybody, oh, crypto, no, we are not going there. Because you came in with small money and you were expecting to be rich and damn it overnight. No, it doesn't work that way. Now, at 10 cents, you also buy at this level, you might even be confident to not put $2,000 because you know you are buying at a very good price now. Any little upward trends of even 40 cents, remember the date you put $2,000, you've written the date down, then sell this one only, don't sell this one. Sell that $2,000, you've already recovered a whole lot. That will even cover this 1,000 and this one that put together. This is the secret to trading. Any other thing they are telling you, don't take it. Can I have a quote? Any other thing they are telling you, leave it. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. It's just for you to watch the market and be ready to face the heat and the coolness. Alright, so but I'm saying, please leave that and focus on network marketing. Use this to build your. That's what they are trying. But when you meet them, if you don't understand them, you say they are traders. They collect what they put forward. And they collect money from seminars. And we like that. Okay, if the manager is coming to Nigeria, you must pay. I think it's 10,000 naira made on the US for you to listen to him. And they'll show you trading. But the money they collect from the seminar also covers a whole lot of expenses would have even done in Nigeria without still touching its main money. But only for you to find out that it's actually a top networker. This one is one. I don't just want to mention the company. This one is an ambassador to them. They have to hire him. Please be part of us. That is the one who did those one now. that is making those one now to purple. Because when they see him there, they say, ah, this one must be working. They will join him there. That's the way it works. If the Onitsha joins Zenith today, the news will go around the whole world, and a lot of people will join our community because of that. So that's the edge they have. So please take network marketing serious and quickly build your portfolio asset as fast as possible. All right? Of course, for the wealthy, we always take on the long term. Now, lastly, how do I move from being rich in crypto asset into being wealthy? Consider real estate. Somebody say real estate. Yes. This is the only estate that is real. You can write it on that one. Real estate, the only estate that is what? That is real. Nigeria, we still have a lot to achieve, so we can't even have a bankruptcy of that for now. Maybe you say there's a depression, there's a crash down of real estate. No. Anywhere you buy property, now the property must go up, must appreciate. The village today will be the next city tomorrow. I've also taught in this place, from wherever you live around the world, especially in Nigeria, you can drive from the main town to the place in 30 minutes. Consider such place in terms of investment in your real estate business. Are we together? From here to Mowe, make sure you have properties there. You are standing at Victoria Island, from there to Bejuleki, consider properties there. Anywhere you can drive to in 30 minutes, from between 10 to 30 minutes from the major city, especially 10 minutes, is the next city tomorrow. Now, there is a law in real estate. Please put this one down. It's called land banking. This, you must have this one in your heart going into real estate. It's called what? Land banking. Many of you know about financial banking and all of that, but you probably not heard about land banking. Land banking simply says, you don't wait to buy land, you buy land and wait. Write it down. You don't wait to buy land, you buy land and wait. That is the approach of the world around the world. Hey, I'm planning to buy land. I'm waiting to buy land. It's all stories of poor, and people they want you to see them as rich. So they keep telling nonsense stories. You know, I'm planning, don't worry. When I'm ready, I will buy my own in the VI. This is Bejuleki, I'm not interested. You are broke man in the future. You'll be so broke. You'll be telling the story of how your friend bought the land that you didn't buy. So land banking states that what? You don't wait to buy land, you buy land and wait. Did that resonate with someone here? This is the secret of the very, very rich in our society that you admire and you appreciate. So let's final submission of that. Let's say that again. Land banking states that you don't buy. You don't. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thanks for that section. So let me say that. Were you blessed with that? Yes, sir. All right. Thank you.